Oh yeah, we're back, everybody. It's time. Yes, VJ Edgecombe was special in the NBA debut. What will he do for an encore tonight? Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid with the Philadelphia 76ers hosting LaMelo Ball and the Charlotte Hornets tonight. The 1-0 Charlotte Hornets for the 76ers home opener. Welcome to the PHLY Sixers Pregame show, live from the Xfinity Lounge. Roy Burton in the house, hanging out with us tonight. I'm Devon Bree, the president of basketball operations. All of you for some Saturday night hoops. Our show is presented by Crooked Tea. Pick up your Crooked Tea at a store near you. Yes, indeed. Roy, you can sport the hat if you want to. And Bet365, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We'll have our picks a little bit later. And while we're here, got to hit the like button, everybody.
Let's do it.
Hit the like button, everybody. Let us know how you feeling. Do us a favor, hit the like button. And let's keep getting those subscriber numbers up. Please subscribe to the show. Tell a friend to tell another friend to tell another friend. We'll check in with our Bet365 picks a little bit later in the show. But first, we got to welcome Roy back for a new season. What's up, man?
I'm feeling good, man. How you doing, Devon?
Ah, man, good to be back. It's always good to come in after a win.
It is. It feels good to come in after a win. You know what? I missed the sickos. I missed all you guys out there, you know, the hardcore Sixers fans. Despite everything that happened last year, you guys are still here.
Yes.
And I miss interacting with you guys, so I'm glad to be back.
I know, man. And we haven't really had a chance to see you since the end of the season.
Yeah.
Securing the number 3 overall pick.
Yeah.
The banter through it all of who to select at pick number 3.
Right.
And then they end up with VJ Edgecombe, and all he does, Roy, is come out with a historic, history-making performance in his debut. We've talked about it, 34 points, 7 rebounds. Yes, we've all talked about it. You've talked about it. Igavini, thank you for hitting the like button. Everybody else, follow Igavini's lead there and hit that like button. But Roy,
yes,
we're hitting that like button a lot because of what VJ Edgecombe did in that debut. So
we did.
What can he do for an encore, man?
You know what? I don't know if we can expect 34 and 7 again.
Why not?
Why not? But again, he had a tremendous debut. Obviously, we've talked about it. You guys have talked about it for the last couple of days. I didn't expect VJ Edgecombe to be on Good Morning America, you know, the day after his debut.
No.
I didn't expect that. I did feel I was excited. You know, I was feeling optimistic after that Timberwolves exhibition game. You know, he came out, you know, looked good, looked the part, you know, kind of, you know, interacted with everybody. I'm like, you know what? Like, this guy's not scared of the moment. Like, he's going to be able to, you know, take the big shots when they're there. And he's going to be able to kind of play alongside Embiid and Maxey and those guys. But he took that up another notch against Boston, right? It's like he's a young guy, again, just like straight out of college, a young kid. He just, again, doesn't, you know, fear the moment at all, right? And not only does not fear the moment at all, and I think Tyrese Maxey, you know, talked about it during the preseason. He just knows what to do. Like, he has a very high basketball IQ at a very young age. Like, he's a guy who can kind of come in, knows where to be basketball wise, knows when to take a good shot, knows when to like, not take a shot if it's not a good shot. And, you know, for a player that age with, again, this little, you know, time, you know, in the NBA, it's a really refreshing thing to do. If nothing else, again, 34 points is great or whatever. But if you just know what to do, you know, 34 minutes a night on an NBA court, that's something that a lot of rookies can't say, and he actually has that in spades.
Yeah, he looked tremendous, man, and just building off of a lot of things that we weren't sure what he can do.
Right.
Scoring from the perimeter with ease,
right.
The ability to put the ball on the floor, get into the basket. A lot of the critique that we had during the pre-draft conversations were picking the basketball up too soon,
right.
where he's too far away from the basket with the gather, and not getting a good opportunity at the rim.
Right.
But we saw some downhill finishes. We saw some intermediate play as well. And we certainly saw 5 of 13 from behind the three-point line and did not expect all of that. So coming in and expecting 34 points in game number 2, it is difficult. I mean, just how do you duplicate that except for going out there and do that again? But what we can expect is a Charlotte Hornets team that now has a little bit of a scattering report and some video to go off of and try to slow he and Tyrese Maxey down, combining for 74 points in that game. But now they have something to build off of. So he's going to get a little bit more defensive coverages. The adjustments were made in Boston to try to slow him down because he got off to such a hot start.
Right.
But now you have a team coming in from possession 1, looking to slow him down. What do you want to see from him tonight to try to at least impact the game in a similar way, even if it's not the point production?
I think it's really, again, just making the smart basketball play. Again, like when he had that little not cold stretch, but after that first quarter when, it wasn't his turn, he kind of, they decided like, look, this is Tyrese Maxey's turn. And he just kind of stepped back and let Tyrese Maxey go crazy in that second quarter. So I think it's more just like making a smart basketball play.
Yep.
If you're not making shots, again, you don't need to take 17 shots, in order to see one fall. Let your teammates take over. You have enough guys who can make shots on this team. You have a Tyrese Maxey, you have Quentin Grimes, you have guys on the perimeter who can make some shots. So even if it's not, again, for whatever reason, if defenses are focused on you, defer to your teammates, kind of let them kind of cook for a little bit. And then when the defense kind of goes to them, then you can kind of step in and take over once again. So that's more or less what I'm looking for tonight.
Yeah, so let's listen to VJ Edgecombe from practice yesterday, first practice, and the media, speaking to the media about what he did in game number 1. How do you follow that up? Well, number 1, you kind of put it past you and move on to game number 2 and not just live in that moment. Good morning, America. Certainly, you don't turn that down, but you do have to prepare and get ready for game number 2, the home open in front of the home crowd in the regular season for the first time following that historic performance. Let's hear from VJ Edgecombe on Friday, following post-practice, speaking to the media about how he moves on from game 1 to get ready for game number 2.
For me, it's just building blocks. Just trying to take steps in the right direction. Learn from film. I was just watching film just now. I'm just learning, knowing team tendencies, knowing what they do. I say it's just a steady progression. That's all it is. It's steady progression. I played one NBA game, and that don't determine who I am as a player. So just continue building, continue growing.
I mean, the kid just simply continues to impress people by the way he answers things.
Says the right things, apparently does the right things. Again, like, when you're that young, you don't, always expect, that level of NBA professionalism, talking about watching film and scouting and just kind of understanding the moment, right? Again, if you score 34 points, you're on Good Morning America, like your rookie cards are going for tens of thousands of dollars on eBay as we speak.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's easy to kind of get a little bit of a big head, but at least, less than a week into his rookie season, it doesn't seem like that's the case for VJ.
All right, he followed up also. Kyle Neubeck asked him, of course, we'll hear from Kyle post-game from the arena after the Sixers take on the Charlotte Hornets, but Kyle did ask him about another fellow rookie in Con Knippel, the 4th overall pick selected by the Charlotte Hornets, and the comparisons that are made when you have that player. And do you get up a little bit more for a player like this, a matchup like this? Here's VJ Edgecombe after answering Kyle's question.
VJ, tomorrow play one of the other top 5 picks in the class in Con Knippel. First time you're going to play one of these guys from your class like that. Is there anything extra for you to compare yourself, prove yourself against guys in your draft class, or every game kind of the same?
Nah, every game is the same, man. I'm not looking at them as, I'm not trying to compare myself. That's a comparison to thief of joy, man. So I'm trying to be happy on the floor. I'm trying to have fun. I'm not worried about a certain player on the floor. They have they're a team full of good players. And my main goal is just going there and win, to be honest. That's the main thing for me. I don't compare myself to no other draft picks or anything like that.
VJ Edgecombe, post-practice, what do you think?
I have to apologize. I didn't have my glasses on when that clip was being played, but when he said the comparison is a thief of joy, I thought it was another Jalen Hurtsism. I thought we were listening to Jalen Hurts at the NovaCare complex.
Right.
Hey, it's VJ Edgecombe, 20 years old. Again, you don't see a lot of rookies talk like this. You don't see a lot of NBA players, potential star NBA players talk like that. Again, if you ask Anthony Edwards that question, Anthony Edwards would probably say, I'm trying to beat everybody, right? I'm trying to destroy everybody, in the NBA. Wouldn't be comparison is the thief of joy. I'm just taking it one day at a time. He's just a level-headed, somebody in the chat said, he's just a level-headed player, and it's very refreshing to see.
No, it really is, man. Good to hear that. And again, just the maturity and having to, look, you play multiple games in college in a week. You play about 2 or 3 sometimes. But sometimes 3. Yeah. And this one, the games turn around pretty fast.
Right.
And he's already going to have, now, normally it's a Wednesday, maybe a Friday. A Wednesday, sometimes a Thursday, like we'll see Monday, Tuesday of next week. They have back-to-backs. But in this case, he had a few days off. And while he has the whirlwind, the GMA, and having these types of interviews, the Adidas commercial dropping, and all the things that you mentioned earlier, but he's handled things really, really well so far as this young player, the maturity that he does have. And you have to find, again, you have to wash that stuff away and get right back at it. Now, it's human to remember that Yeah, I just dropped 34
Sure.
in my first NBA game.
Sure.
But there's another NBA team waiting that's going to be ready for me to try to stop me from scoring 34. It might be 17, might be 12,
Right.
might be 7.
Might be 7, right?
Right. So
Yeah.
I have to be prepared for that. And then when it comes to the comparisons, not getting caught up in the moment of a game against one person when there are 4 other teammates that you have trying to achieve the same goal of finishing the possession right, and then at the end winning the basketball game. And that's that's at least what it sounds like to me with his Jalen Hurtsism of wanting to help his team and not get too far ahead of himself.
And that's the perfect, approach you have to have when there's an 82-game schedule, right? Like, this is a slog. Like, this is a grind. Like you were saying, like, you have back-to-backs. There are going to be weeks you're going to play 4 games in 7 nights or whatever. You're going to be on the road, and, like some days you just won't your shot just won't be there, right? Like, some days you'll just have games where, like, you do everything you can the right way, and then you'll just shoot, 3 for 14, and you'll lose, and, it is what it is. So, it's good for him to have this approach in game 1, because, again, like, come back in January, when, they have a slow week or a down week or things like that, you got to stay positive because you know, like, this is a long season. Yeah, as we always say, it's a marathon and not a sprint.
No, it's not. Absolutely. Bree has a poll up, everybody, there and during the show here live on YouTube. How are you feeling about game 2? Simple. Dub or the Sixers go 1-1? Go ahead and vote. We'll give you the results at the end of the show. Here on the pregame show, we're going to take our first pause. When we come back, we got to talk about the big fella. And can he bounce back from the awful performance that he had in game 1 against the Boston Celtics? Can he do a little better against rookie Ryan Kalkbrenner and the Charlotte Hornets? Let's discuss it when we get back. Game 2, Sixers Hornets, the home opener for your Philadelphia 76ers. Can Joel Embiid bounce back and have a much better performance against the Hornets tonight? We'll discuss it when we get back right here on the PHLY Sixers Pregame Show, presented by, I'm going to tell you about them both when we get back right here on the Pregame Show. Starting off with number 1, Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And your team is looking to go 2-0 right now. You know what? We'll give our pregame picks at the end of the show, courtesy of Bet365. But for you, if you want to say, you know what? You guys went perfect. You and Bree did in game number 1. Well, I want to be one of those 90 million users and get involved in this whole thing and lock in on that wager that you two set. Well, if you want to do that, all you have to do right now, especially as a new customer, sign up and get $300 right now. Yes, you heard me correctly, $300 in bonus bets when you bet $5. Win or lose, sign up. Use the code PHLY365 when you sign up. Deposit $10, place a bet for $5. Get $300 in bonus bets. You heard me correctly, not 2, 3. That's right. Bonus bets can be used on player props, totals, futures, prop bets, and so much more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Also, have to tell you about Crooked Tea. Yes, the Crooked Tea. Hey, Kyle's normally the expert on the drinking when we discuss it here on the show, but everybody's got their favorite hard tea, and I can tell you about it as well. But have you ever tried and turned the can to read it, what's in it? You can't, because they don't tell you. And while they hide what's inside, Crooked Tea brings about everything very, very, very transparent about what's in it. Crooked Tea brews real USDA organic tea for real flavor with 0 sugar. No fake junk hiding behind the label. What you see is what you drink. Next time you're at the store, flip the can. And if you can't find the ingredients, just put that drink back. Then grab a Crooked Tea, 0 sugar, and fully transparent. You know it, Philly. Real recognizes real. You know that. So why drink the fake stuff? Crooked Tea, the only thing better is a strip sack in the Super Bowl. Visit crookedtea.com to find a store near you. Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers podcast. That's Roy. I'm Devon. Bree is with us. All of you in the chat. Did we have a super chat in there too, Bree? Did we have a super chat that we needed? John Mack, Embiid, Bona. 3 guards. Take my money.
Take my money. All right.
Take my money. Well, look, first of all, Embiid has to play better.
He does.
And so does Adem Bona.
He does.
Has to play better. The guards fared pretty well. Quentin Grimes in particular in the fourth quarter, 3 for 4, had 7 points. Big shot, played all 12 minutes. But for the 20 minutes that Joel Embiid played in the game, he did not fare as well, Roy. What did you see in game 1? And what would you like to see against, again, a young front line here in Charlotte?
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed because, I told you I was, emboldened by that Timberwolves game, for VJ Edgecombe. I also felt good, looking at Joel Embiid, even in limited action in that Minnesota game. Now, granted, like they were playing a bunch of guys, who are in the G League or who are headed to the G League if they're not there already, Minnesota. But Embiid looked good, right? Like other than that, that YOLO three he started with, chucking it up first shot of the game. He looked pretty good. Like he was, he was moving around, making good decisions, passing the ball, scoring when it was there. So I felt pretty good coming into this game, the season opener, and he had 4 days off and he looked like he was like playing underwater. Like he was just like slower than everybody out there, not moving on his feet on defense, just kind of arm waving a couple times, not, providing too much resistance. So I'm a little pessimistic, as we say. I need to see a little bit more. Because again, like the Celtics, three-headed center monster, like they're not world beaters.
No.
I mean, they're decent, they're fine NBA players.
They're backups, though.
Yeah, but they're all backups. Like, but you throw a bunch of active backups out there and kind of,
And Joel normally destroys backups.
Right. He should destroy Xavier Tillman. He should destroy these guys. And he didn't. And he looked like, he was holding them back on both sides of the floor. And again, you're playing a Hornets team that has a little bit more active guys, at the center spot. So I am a little concerned. I'm not writing him off or anything like that. But, after the long layoff, after, 4 days before that first game, I expected way more out of Joel Embiid than what we got on was it Wednesday night. And I'm a little bit disappointed.
Now, look, he is a prideful guy.
Sure.
And he is also, as Derek likes to remind us on the show, very much in the start of the season, notoriously a slow starter. And he's coming back from the injury. We haven't seen him for 9 months. We only saw him that one time in those 19 minutes against the Minnesota Timberwolves in that preseason finale. I expect him to be better tonight, especially, again, with another young body in front of him. Now, I remember Diakite, the backup big, more like a 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", really active, bouncy, just all over the place type of forward/center, having some success against Joel Embiid when we saw him play him last season. Now, Ryan Kalkbrenner, second-round pick, a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Big East while with Creighton, somebody that we talked about heavily for the second round for the Sixers there at that center position, had a double-double, 10-10 in his first one, or 11-10 in his first game where the Hornets won, and is, again, known for his defensive prowess and protecting the rim. Now, I'm sure Joel can get him to bite on a few fakes and do the things that Joel does, again, against young players or backup players. In this case, we're talking about a guy I think can start in this league for a while. He needs to be better today. Yeah. And I like the fact that with the screen setting, giving the guys more room to go downhill and get their work done, specifically Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. But for Joel, when it comes to him getting his shots, sure, he's going to take his threes. He was 1 for 9 from the floor overall. But I would like for the screen to be set a little bit closer, right around that free throw line extended, so when he and Tyrese Maxey do run that patented pick and roll that they do, the pick and pop, that he can then receive it right around that 15-foot or that 17-foot line where it's not 19 instead, and he's trying to give a ball fake to maybe get into that hang dribble that he likes to pull up and knock down that shot at a pretty high clip. So I would expect him to be a little bit better tonight than the 4 and the 1 for 9 from the floor, and also with the back-to-the-basket work. Yeah. When he catches something a little bit deep there in the paint or right outside the paint, make them pay.
You got to eat, man.
Make them pay, get to the free throw line, maybe even get to the free throw line to see the ball go through the hoop a few times, and get yourself into a pretty good rhythm where the confidence starts to build, where we know that mentally he's still thinking about his knee a lot. Seeing things happen offensively and defensively, as you pointed out, a lot of that will be erased if he starts to feel a little more comfortable like we saw him last Friday, a week ago, yesterday against Minnesota. And
I think they'll probably make an effort early on to kind of get him loose, especially offensively. Because again, like, you talked about, you're back to the basket. Like there's not even, a handful of players in the NBA who can stop Embiid, when he's, in the low post. So give Embiid those touches early on, let him get loose, let him get comfortable, and hopefully that'll kind of build on to a more successful game than what we saw the other night.
And if Maxey and Edgecombe are scoring, and I don't even include Grimes when he comes in the game, if they're scoring the way that they did in game number 1, that should naturally open things up for him as well, to where, hey, they can't double him all the time now, and don't give Ryan Kalkbrenner the confidence early to think that he can actually defend you. He's still a rookie. As good as he was in college, he's still a rookie. Yes, because of his length, And all of that is timing. He can block shots, but he's still a young player.
Yeah,
Creighton in the
NBA.
No. The Big East said, look, Creighton is not Joel Embiid.
No.
He's not Joel Embiid. So we'll see what happens there. Everybody, welcome into the show. If you're just joining in, Al, the 2-minute warning is there. We see him stepping in saying, what up, guys? What up, Al? Everybody, you're in there. Hit the like button. Let us know what you think. Also, before we get to our next topic, while we have all of you here, we want to let you know that tonight, the second time, Roy.
Second time?
We got our Die Hard voicemail call-in line that you can check in. The Die Hard voicemail call-in line that is set up for you to check in when Bree reaches out, maybe somewhere around halftime. We want your thoughts. So if you want to have your face on your face in the place, your face on the show, up on the screen with your thoughts about what's going on with the Sixers at halftime, and certainly by the end of the game, make sure you check in if you're a diehard member. If you're not, sign up at allphly.com, become a diehard member to sign up to be able to join in and become a member of the diehard community. You have access to our Discord. You have access to all the writing, the great content that we have there, events as well. And now for our post-game shows, our diehard call-in voicemail line where you can be on the show, not just in the chat, but your face can also be on the show and give your thoughts on the Sixers game tonight. All right, let's get to the next topic here in our rundown that we have. Number one, Bree, can we show everybody the starters tonight? Same starting lineup as the other night. Tyrese Maxey and Edgecombe in the backcourt. Kelly Oubre on the wing with Dominic Barlow starting at the 4 with Joel Embiid at the 5. Dominic Barlow, again, we've talked so much about him and how well he has done. So with that, incorporating that piece of the conversation, Roy, and just simply looking at, we've talked about on the show, you got to stack some wins like they stacked losses last year, and that turned the season into what it was. A good opportunity, you said before we came on the show, a good opportunity you told Bree and I, now you can tell everybody else, for them to start to build more wins here, starting with the Charlotte Hornets tonight.
This is a Hornets team, like you said, we talked about before the show. You swept last year, swept the season series the year before that, right? So you've won 10 straight against the Charlotte Hornets team. Now, this is a better team than last year because, their big three guys all missed significant time. LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges all missed significant time last year. So this is a better team, healthier team. We talked about Kalkbrenner. This is a decent team, but, you look at the odds makers. Vegas only projected them to win 27.5 games this season. That was their over-under on the win total. No matter what you think about the Sixers, Joel Embiid and things like that, this team is significantly better than the Charlotte Hornets. This is a time to stack some wins. Like you won that game against the Celtics, even though you were down 11 and going into the fourth quarter. Now it's another game at home against a team that you've dominated the last 2 years. Let's get another win tonight. Let's go 2-0. Let's get some momentum going before you start, again, rolling down this stretch of back-to-backs early in the season.
Yeah, because the back-to-back that they have Monday and Tuesday, it's the Orlando Magic and then the Washington Wizards on Tuesday in Washington. Orlando here in Philadelphia at home. When we looked at that last week and we were saying, you know what? They should knock off Washington, no problem. Washington went into Dallas and beat the Houston Rockets and beat the Houston Rockets last night. After losing their first game to Milwaukee, 2 games to start the season on the road, they didn't put their head down. They went out there to Houston.
A Houston team that lost their first game. Right.
And this was their home opener.
Right.
And they went into Houston and defeated the Houston Rockets. Keyshawn George went in there, had a career-high 34. He had like 5-6 threes that he made. He looked tremendous. Our guy Trey Johnson had 17 off the bench, made 3 threes. They looked pretty good,
They're
right?
a good team.
So with that, what do you look at? It's not just a gimme, at least this early in the season, especially on the second night of a back-to-back on the road.
Yeah, it's not a gimme. Yeah, it's definitely not a gimme anymore. That's why you have to get the wins that I don't want to say you should get, but there are certain teams that you should beat, right? Like this Hornets game, you should win that game. Orlando's going to be tough no matter what, but again, the Wizards, like you said, not as much of a gimme before. But then you have the Bulls. I think the Bulls are next. The next game you have the Bulls. I think you have the Bulls coming up.
That's next week. You have Boston on Friday. I think the Bulls
Boston,
are
the
Sunday.
Nets and the Bulls. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So Boston, the Nets, and the Bulls. Those Nets and the Nets and the Bulls game, you should probably win those two. I mean, like
You need to beat the Nets by like
you
20.
by 30.
Come on.
Yeah. So
That team is awful.
Yeah. So you have a couple games that you probably should win. But I mean, like some of these intermediate games, if you're a team that a lot of people talked about the Sixers being the 5th, 6th seed, if you're a team that's shooting for that level, outside of the play-in tournament, you got to win these games. Like the game tonight, and you got to win that game against the Wizards. That second leg of that back-to-back.
And the Wizards, it was Dallas. That's the Houston. It was Dallas that they defeated.
Dallas.
Houston was Detroit beat the Houston. But even still, Dallas, right?
Right.
They blown out in game 1.
Yeah.
Cooper Flag, the buzz that's going on there. You go into Dallas and you drop them to 0-2. So that Wizards team, and certainly we already know about who the Orlando Magic are and what they're all about. And as a team that's looking to be right now a top 3 team in the Eastern Conference, that's not going to be an easy one as well. So continue to stack these wins, man. You get these wins. Get one tonight. If you drop one at home or against Orlando on Monday, okay.
It's all right.
You bounce back the next night against a team that you should defeat, though, against that Washington Wizards team. So stacking wins. That's what's important tonight against the Charlotte Hornets team. But don't look past the Charlotte Hornets because they are very well coached. You said they're a better team because they're healthy right now this early in the season. They can clip you, and you don't want you don't want to allow that to happen this early in the year against that Charlotte Hornets team, who also won their opener on Wednesday as well. All right, let's get to our Bet365 picks, our pregame segment here. Our pregame picks presented by Bet365, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. So Bree and I went perfect in our first games.
You got to send me the picks, guys. I mean, what are we talking about?
So Bree
sharing
had
is caring.
Charlotte, Orlando, and Philadelphia to win on Wednesday. Money line, just simple, money line.
All right.
I had the Sixers. The number was 5.5, plus 5.5. So I was like, come on, give me that. I'll take that all day.
Yeah.
And then I also had VJ Edgecombe over 11.5 points. He cleared that in the first quarter.
Cleared that.
All right, so we went perfect in our first ones here. So let's see what Bree and I have in store here tonight. Same game parlay for me. I'm going back to the Sixers, money line, defeating the Charlotte Hornets tonight. And Roy, Joel Embiid, plus 15 points
15.
tonight. What do you make of that one first, and then we'll get the Breeze picks?
Listen, this is a nice, solid double your money parlay, right? Like every parlay doesn't have to be 7 legs.
Doesn't have to be
plus 8,000. You know what?
Build your money up.
Build your stack.
Stack it.
Build your stack. Like you said, stack and win.
Stack it.
Stack money.
Stack the coins.
Stack money. Sixers, money line against the Hornets, plus 15 for Joel Embiid. That's a very good parlay. I dig it.
All right, thank you. And Bree had in this one, Tyrese Maxey with 3+ made threes. He was 7 for 9 from 3 against Boston. Just an impressive shooting performance.
Yeah.
Maxey with 20 points. And LaMelo Ball with 4 made threes. That's a plus 160.
Ooh.
How do you like that one?
I like that. Again, if you think Maxey's going to make 3 threes, and obviously 20 points makes a lot of sense. That's a pretty healthy line for LaMelo. I like it. I don't hate the 4+ threes. But if the Sixers give up 4+ threes in LaMelo Ball, it's gonna be an up and down, high scoring game. So I like the parlay. But if you think that's gonna be the number for LaMelo Ball, the winning total is probably gonna be over 240 probably.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
He made 4 threes out of 8 tries in game number 1, and he ended up with 20 points in the game. So I see where Bree is going with that one. If you like our picks, everybody, join in on the pregame picks presented by Bet365. Lock those in so you too can, as Al says there, I'll take that. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Futz says, I like it, Bree. And Al says he'll take both on these. So go again, download the app, Bet365, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. If you're signing up for the first time, use the code PHLY365 when you sign up. All right, folks, after the game, we're going to check in with Kyle Neubeck from the arena, the Xfinity Mobile Arena.
That's right.
Where the Sixers have their home opener. VJ Edgecombe's home debut. How does he follow up his 34-point performance? Let's see what he does against the Charlotte Hornets. And Joel Embiid, does he bounce back? We'll be back after the game, 10 minutes following the final buzzer in South Philadelphia. Me, Roy, and Bree will be back. Kyle will join us from Arena. We hope to see all of you back here after the game. Will the Sixers go 2-0 to start the season and stack those wins?
Stack them up.
Well, let's all go watch together. Certainly not in a watch-along, but simply watching together at the same time, and then we come back afterwards. Everybody enjoy the game. We'll talk to you post-game right here on the PHLY Sixers post-game show.
We all silly like the mayor.